What's going on, everybody? I wish I can do a show on better terms, but unfortunately, the Miami Hurricanes fall short against the Virginia Cavaliers. They open up ACC play 0-1. It was a fresh start for the Miami Hurricanes. They had a chance to get to the ACC Coastal. They still do, but this team has no pulse. There's no energy. This program is flat out dead, and Virginia outplayed you in every facet of this football game. Ross, where do you want to begin with all this mess? Because we can talk about the game. We can talk about Manny Diaz's future at Miami. As you saw the title, I think his time here is done.
I think he's completely lost this team. From everything that I understand and from what I've been told from alumni, he's lost this alumni as well. So when you've got no support currently and no support from the guys who were there before, who knew how to win and actually put on, that makes it tough for a staff to move forward. At Miami, you really need everyone to be on the same page. We need our guys who are our superstars to be supporting this staff. We need our guys to be excited about the football product so they can help us just on the sidelines, just being a figure and a presence. This game, this was the essence of the Manny era, the Manny Diaz era, in my opinion. This was the absolute essence of it. Slow starts, bad performances against a mediocre opponent, having to fight and crawl, trying to desperately win towards the end of the game, and usually falling short.
You know, I've interviewed Randall Hill, Colin McCarthy. I have a show with Brandon Merriweather. Check that out. We do it weekly. Had Brian McKinney on my podcast. We've interviewed Eric Winston. The list keeps going. Nobody likes Manny Diaz. Nobody. He's lost the alumni base. He's lost the fan base. It's basically probably he's lost the board of trustees at this point. His time is up. If those receivers at UVA if this was a better team, it would be a bigger margin, the point spread, because offensively they were ripping us apart. They just couldn't finish. They literally, I think it was in the fourth quarter. This was like game, set, match. The receiver was wide open. I think it was 99, which is a quarterback. He came in. He literally hit his chest and he dropped it. I don't know if he thought he was going to get hit hard again. Stevenson was coming up the middle. I don't know, because he got drilled by Stevenson. And Stevenson wasn't in the second half. But it literally hit 99 in the chest and he dropped it. They could have put up a lot more points. I love their offense, by the way. That was great. Outstanding.
It's great.
Brett Lashley is the biggest dumbass in the whole world. You literally try to run it up the middle once again at your own 1 yard line, and look what happens. It becomes a safety. And guess what? It's a 2-point game you lose by. You lose by 2 points.
Bro, that safety absolutely pissed me off. I mean, it was, like I said, this is the Manny Diaz. This is the essence of his kind of performance in a game like that. Well, that was the essence of the Rhett Lashley offense at the University of Miami. Completely freaking clueless, still resorting to things that simply don't work, and then having the freaking balls to try to pull some stupid shit like that in our own end zone. Bro, we deserved to get that safety with that kind of play call.
We had 19 missed tackles yesterday. We had 19 missed tackles. Corey Couch probably had like 5 of them. He led the team coming in with 7 missed tackles, according to Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Probably has 10 after this game. John Bird with the $10 donation. It should not come down to making a freshman kick a field goal to win the game. It's ridiculous. Changes have to come. Lashley is pitiful. I wholeheartedly agree. Thank you so much for the $10 donation, John Bird. Greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
No, it should have never came down to this. I think you perfectly said it, Ross. First half play calling was atrocious. Tyler Van Dyke obviously got into a rhythm, got a lot more comfortable in the second half. First half was ugly. And I think, going into the second quarter, you're trying to look this up, we only had 10 total yards against one of the worst defenses in the nation, not even in the ACC. That's awful. We have an issue offensively. And it seems like Dan Enos is doing really well at Maryland compared to his first year at Miami. Dan Enos, I think it's a good argument to say he might be a better OC than Rhett Lashley. And this guy was a Broyles Award semifinalist. So Manny Diaz, you've literally shot yourself in the foot once again with this hire.
I think the Enos stuff came down to personnel. I really do. I just think that we were We were trying to make something work that simply wasn't going to work. But here's the thing is, we've got the kind of guys that Rhett Lashlee should be able to use in his offense. We've got those players. It's an absolute travesty to see a game like we had where we struggled to move the ball, struggled to get big plays at times, but yet Brashard Smith had one catch, I think, for 6 yards. How the hell do you not manufacture more touches for him in the short pass game? Yeah, he had a couple handoffs, but, bro, that's not making up for what he should be doing. Seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, God, it hurts. It really does hurt. We're not supposed to lose to these mediocre opponents. You can tell the talent gap is right there. We have guys like James Williams, who literally is the biggest guy on the football field. Leonard Taylor was making a bunch of huge plays. Javari Harvey got a sack. Cam Kitchen should have reeled in that interception in the end zone. There's no excuse about that. The talent is just it's night and day. You know what, Ross? I'm going to switch it over to the O-line real quick because I just thought of this. We suck at that position unit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how long. It doesn't matter if you start switching people around different positions. We're horrendous. And that's a really bad issue because it's literally taken like 3 different coaches, Cyril's, Butch Berry, Garen Justice, and nothing clicks. And I don't know what the hell it is, if we just misevaluated the entire group overall. But what the hell, man? Like, Virginia came in as an awful defense, an awful defensive line, and they got to us, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah. We made Mandy Alonso look like a first or second round pick, their defensive end, who's really, he's not a bad player, but he's not a bad college player. You know what I'm saying? Like this, we should have never had him look that dominant against our offensive line, but we're playing musical chairs with the offensive line. We're just trying to desperately hope that whatever lineup we put out there, it'll somehow work and somehow look functional.
I love how you said Mandy Alonso. He attended Gulliver Prep, I believe, from Miami. So another recruit that beats Miami.
Another 3-star recruit, very similar to the 3-star recruits we see on the Pittsburgh defensive line that give us nightmares.
Yep. No, it's atrocious. The performance, I was disgusted. I just honestly, guys, I don't like any other program would have Manny Diaz fired by now. Lane Kiffin got left in the tarmac is how you pronounce it. The terminal at the gate, they left him there. Literally, programs who care about football fire their head coaches after you lose to FIU, after you lose to Louisiana Tech and Duke. 2019 told me everything about Manny Diaz. I was over Manny Diaz once he lost to an awful 3-win UNC team the past season. I went to that game in Chapel Hill. I made a rant about it. Guess what? Everybody and their mom told me to stop crying. Look at us present day, guys. Look at us present day. We all still don't want Manny Diaz to be head coach here. It's time to move on. He is a dead man walking. This program has no pulse whatsoever. Bring in new energy. Put in an interim head coach that maybe the players get fired up around. And heck, maybe you can finish 8-4 with a great season. Look what we did with Larry Scott. We got rid of Al Golden. He goes 3-1 the rest of the way.
Yeah. He added life to the program.
Exactly.
So my question to you then is, because I feel the same way. Don't get me wrong. I want Diaz gone as soon as absolutely possible. Is there anybody on this staff that you're comfortable handing the interim head coach position to?
I don't whoever has head coaching experience. People say Jess Simpson. Bob Shoop's he's been around college football for quite a while. Travaris Robinson's been a defensive coordinator. You can put him as DC. Obviously, you keep Lashley as OC. Honestly, whoever has head coaching experience, I don't have everyone's Wikipedia page on me, trying to track this, but who's ever been a head coach, just let him lead the program, because this is a mess. This was the worst hire in Miami Hurricanes football history, in my honest opinion. This was probably the most, what's the word for it? He doesn't have the experience for this position. This is an utter embarrassment. Literally. This is what happens when you make 6-hour coaching hires and you don't do a national coaching search. This is what happens when you hire Temple's second choice. This is what happens. You lose and you get worse and worse over the years. And you know what? 2019, we lose to FIU. We lose to Louisiana Tech. Duke, we're in a shootout with Central Michigan and Bethune-Cookman. Like, the writing was on the wall since day one. This has been going on since 2019, guys. This isn't just yesterday that we lost to UVA. This has been going on for a while. And last year, we could have easily gone 7-5. Easily.
I got a question for you, Paul. Here. Do you believe that Rhett Lashlee is basically cooked at Miami? Do you believe that really there's not a way for him to get things right for his future, or do you think there's still a chance for him?
No, there's no chance whatsoever. I honestly think like the only reason why he had success was because he was playing in the AAC, correct? Where like everybody like sucks. Well, Miami probably, if they were inserted in that conference, they would probably go 8-4 as well because we're a bad football team. But yeah, I mean, I think that's really the only reason why things worked out. Honestly, maybe Shane Buechele's a better quarterback than King as a pocket passer. You know,
he fits the system, I think, better.
Right.
You know, I think he offers that accuracy downfield that desperately have to happen in Lashlee's offense. So here's another question I got for you. If we're gonna make this move, let's say we make this move to get rid of Diaz, we want to do these changes and make real changes. Do we just get rid of Lashlee at the same time too, and just let Likens take over the offense, or what?
No, because like when Al Golden got fired, you had D'Onofrio there. I mean, technically, like who's gonna run? Like you would have to insert a completely different offensive playbook. It's kind of like a circus show. Like, hey, listen, like just ride it out. Like once you fire a head coach, you're just trying to get through the season, and that's it with the personnel you have, and then everyone leaves. That's all you're trying to do. Really, just ride it out with Lashlee. Like, look, it's not the end of the world if you just cause like 6 more games, right? It just sucks because like we only have 12 games every year to get excited about, and then we get this shitty piss poor performance. And as fans, we show up to the games, we cheer, we get excited, we wake up those Saturday mornings, that Thursday morning, you wake up, you're trying to get through work, just excited maybe to go watch the game in person, or just turn on ESPN, sit on your couch, wherever, get together with friends, and you see this performance, and you just like. You become numb to it. It's like you're used to this. You're used to this subpar, shitty performance on and on every consecutive year. And it's exhausting. It's tiring. And you know what, man? It's kind of getting old of like, hey, 2017, we beat Notre Dame. Ha, ha, ha. Hey, 2001 champions. Like, dude, I want to hear present day success. I'm tired of hearing things of the past. That's our identity is past events. Like,
yep.
Literally, why don't we write your own legacy at Miami, create your own history, like have a head coach that's freaking competitive and wins bowl games. Just give me something, man. Give me a fight. If you go 10-2, like seriously, give me a shootout those 2 games. Like we just literally flat out freaking suck, Ross, and we play down to the level of our opponent. And it's poor coaching, it's everything.
How do we be basically the only school that seems to not be able to not only field an exciting product that we want to see on both sides of the ball, but to be just merely competitive in games we should be competitive in? That I don't understand, dude.
There's actually someone who commented saying, why is everybody calling for Manny in year 3? I don't understand. Maybe you can write why. I think 99% of the fan base, and you're in the 1% with like 3 other cats. No, literally like 3 cats. Want to keep Manny Diaz. If that's the agenda you want to have, that's fine, but you don't have a vision. And if you're a financial advisor, I will never trust you with my money. I will never. If you're a financial advisor, I don't know if you're a business owner. I don't know, but you don't have a vision if you think Manny Diaz is going to literally turn this thing around. Because I saw a deadbeat man, and I saw a Ponzi schemer on that sideline. And he sold himself for this job. And you know what? That guy has been a fluke the entire time he's been here. The entire time. I've never liked Manny Diaz as a defensive coordinator. I'll stand by that statement. I've never liked the hire. The only thing I liked was his vision of the transfer portal, and that was it. And I am sick and tired of the new Miami, Win Now Miami, TNM, BS, and this little jewelry show that we have. It's got to go. When you're taking pictures on the sideline and you're losing a football game, you are down in the football game, and then you got the quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, with the wide receiver core, the O-line. Hey, guys, let's get a picture. We just scored our first touchdown as a unit. Are you effing serious? Are you serious right now to take a picture on the sideline and you're losing a football game? You're in a dogfight, and you go ahead and take a picture on the sideline, and then your head coach allows that, embraces that shit? I don't know if this is some millennial Gen Z BS, but this shit's got to go. That's why I don't like Manny Diaz, okay?
We're a gimmick. He turned us into a freaking gimmick, bro. Top to bottom. Absolute gimmick. The turnover chain, the TNM, the fake hype, the come to Miami to win championships bullshit. It was all a politician selling his crowd what they wanted to hear because he learned that from daddy. He learned how to talk and really not have to work very hard. He learned that if you say the right things at the right time, people might just let you have a job you really don't deserve.
People say, who are we going to hire? Anybody with a better resume than he is. Someone that I can stand behind, because I'll be honest, guys, the last 2 years covering the team, I haven't felt it. Heart, passionate-wise, I just haven't felt it with Coach Diaz because I just don't see him having success here. And I want someone who, if we're going down, like, you're just fired up about, man, that you will literally fight all 4 quarters for. Give me a Lane Kiffin. Hell with it, man. Like Ed Orgeron, LSU, they love Ed Orgeron, what he's done. He speaks to them. You know, someone who speaks to the fan base, someone that they love, man, that bleeds orange and green, that wants it. You know, a head coach that's a charismatic leader, not a tacky, jewelry little shit. I get, like, man, he's like 5'4", bro. I'll be honest, like 5'8" on a good day. He's a little shit. Oh, fuck. I'm over him. I'm literally over him, Ross. You were gonna do the rant today. It was your turn.
Hey, man, it's all good, bro. You know, we have at least a platform that we know that we can come on here and do our rants when we need to. But I'll tell you what, this idea that we have fans saying, well, who are you going to hire? Or making it so that's the reason we don't hire or we don't make a change. When Coastal Carolina and Liberty can field competent coaching staffs, I'm sorry, there's no freaking excuse for Miami. None.
All right, let me back it up. We had a $5 donation from D. Hernandez, Super Sticker. Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate your contribution to the channel. So thank you again, D. Hernandez, for the $5 donation. We have over 150 people watching us live, 19 minutes in. We greatly appreciate your support, guys. We're all pretty upset, a little bit distressed about this. I was livid last night when at the end of the game. So everyone is asking, who should we replace Manny Diaz with? I want to hear the comment section. Write down some names. Realistic. Lane Kiffin, if he beats Alabama, guys, he's going to get the biggest extension that you've ever seen in your life. Okay, if Ole Miss beats Alabama on Saturday. If not, I think they're still going to throw a lot of money at him. Mario Cristobal, I don't think our board of trustees, our athletic director, wants to pile in over $50 million to reel in Mario Cristobal to the University of Miami that Nike could probably match. So I don't think they want to do that. Who do you guys think? Ross, who do you think moving forward would be some ideal candidates to take over and that could be interested?
To me, an ideal candidate, but sadly one that I don't believe we'll be able to get to because the SEC money, is Pittman from Arkansas. I absolutely love what he's done for that school. And to be able to have success in the South and in the SEC, it means something. It really does. You know, there's always the names that float around. You know, Stoops seems to be one of those names I'm actually starting to see more. And I know that's a name that me and you have talked about before from Kentucky just because he fields competitive teams. He knows what it takes to actually battle against teams when he has lesser talent. I want a coach that's going to coach. I'm sick of the other stuff. I want a coach that flat out wants to coach, wants to do the dirty little stuff, wants to get the basics right at Miami and not let these guys take pictures on the sidelines when they're down. To literally have order, accountability, discipline. It's just, dude, Manny Diaz has lost all of that. None of that's here right now.
Yeah, I think we need a drill sergeant as our next head coach. Someone who's going to put the players in order because I'll be honest, the next head coach who takes over has to take over the personnel that Manny Diaz brought in, and a lot of it may not be good. A lot of players should maybe just transfer out. Um, this is one thing. Like, I understand he's like really young, Van Dyke, but like he was in the picture, like embracing it. Like if you're a
Yep.
leader, you're a quarterback. I understand this is your first game, you don't really know what to do, but like you tell the team like, hey, we're not doing that BS. Like we're not.
I would love to know, Paul, what De'Aaron King thought about that. I would absolutely love to know what he thought about Van Dyke doing that in that situation.
I don't know, man. We saw Sam Brooks on Twitter. He threw up the peace sign.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of Hugh Freeze. I saw Art Briles on Twitter. Those guys will never get touched by the University of Miami. I would be in complete shock if we hire either of them. Literally in complete shocked.
Me too.
One name I thought was interesting. Now, here's the thing I get nervous about the Big 12 conferences, the SEC. Sam Pittman sounds like a great choice. I want to see how he finishes out the season because I think Texas was a little bit gimmicky. But Texas A&M was a solid win. That was a solid win. But I want to see how he finishes out the season. But I think Arkansas literally can just throw money at him to keep him. You know what I mean? Like, I think they will like go the distance, like drop $6 million a year. I don't think Miami wants to do that. Dave Aranda from Baylor. That's an interesting choice. He's got Baylor 4-0. He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. Manny Caney will never get to the level of Dave Aranda. Will never. By the way, Mark Richt wanted to hire Dave Aranda at the University of Miami as his first choice. But then it was LSU that got him from Wisconsin. Fun fact about that. Then Manny Diaz was like second or third. Manny is always the second choice. He's the first for Miami, right? Dave Aranda is a name that I'm curious about. Would he even want to come to Miami? I don't know. I feel like Baylor would they have so much money, they can just keep him.
Yeah.
So I will be patient. Bill O'Brien, he did a tremendous job at Penn State when they were going through that whole Jerry Sandusky, Joe Paterno trash show.
Absolutely.
He goes to the Houston Texans. He has a head coach experience in the NFL at Penn State. Why not take a shot at him? He's an offensive coordinator at Alabama. It might work out. Why not Bill O'Brien? So those are two names I think are realistic. Mark Stoops, I mean, he's always wanted this job. He's the only winningest coach in Kentucky football history. I don't know if that's saying much, but that's a guy right there. If USC doesn't take Luke Fickell, you grab him. You go for Luke Fickell.
Absolutely. You put the full court press on for Fickell if he's not going to be there. Another name that I've seen, and it's not a name that I exactly agree with, but it's a name that we're seeing come up, is James Franklin. And I just simply don't think he would want to be at Miami. I mean, right now, even though Penn State's had their issues, they have a better football program than we do. They have more commitment, more funds coming into it, and more support from their fan base than we have.
You know what? I don't like anything that touches Penn State. So maybe that's why I don't like James Franklin. But yeah, I don't think they'll let go of him. I think he'll be a lot of money. He's a hot name. Like he's in every coaching search. He's a very popular name. But yeah, I mean, I think, I agree with Phil King. Franklin will go to Southern California before Miami. I think a lot of coaches will as well. So Deion Sanders making a name of himself at Jacksonville State. I mean, like I get it, I get it, but I mean, it's Jacksonville State to the Miami Hurricanes. That's a big jump. It's not like going from like North Dakota State to Miami. That's another level. I think they're both in the same FCS, but North Dakota State wins national titles. Jacksonville State does not.
To me, it'd be basically kind of bringing in the same issues we're dealing with right now. A guy who has no experience, who's a lot of talk, who's a lot of flash, who's a lot of pizzazz, who's a lot of extra stuff. And frankly, that extra stuff hasn't been working at Miami. We got to get back to the basics. We got to get, like you said, that drill sergeant mindset. I'm not sure exactly who the perfect guy is for that, because people talk about when you hear drill sergeant, Charlie Strong, those kind of names, always come up. But there's got to be somebody better that we could find than that.
Greg Schiano is everything you described right there. Greg Schiano is that coach that you hate in practice. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like the
absolutely.
players literally hate. But does he leave Rutgers to Miami? I feel like we could have hired Greg Schiano 2 decades ago. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
we're a decade late on that hire. And he did a tremendous job at Rutgers. By the way, we already got 200 people in the chat, 26 minutes in. Greatly appreciated, guys. We got 200 people live. If you want Manny Diaz fired, hit the like button. Okay? If you want Manny Diaz fired, hit the like button. If you want Lane Kiffin as head coach, hit the like button. Mario Cristobal as head coach, hit the like button. If you want to see the Miami Hurricanes win another national title before you pass away, hit the like button. Really appreciate your support, guys. And subscribe as well. If you want Blake James fired, hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it, guys. All right. So, any other names we have not touched up on? Ross. I mean, Joe Brady is something that everyone keeps bringing up. He is 31 years old. He's got a fairly young resume. I like his offensive mind, but he's never ran a football team.
Yeah.
Oops, interesting.
Yeah, and very interesting name there. Very, very interesting, actually.
Yeah, but they'll bring in his brother as like the coordinator. I think he's a defensive coordinator that got fired at Oklahoma. It took him like 10 years to fire him. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be like Mark Riggs. Like, you got to bring in his brother. We're going to hire Bob Stoops, let's say. Oh, but I want my brother. I think it's Jason Stoops or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what will happen. But no, I don't think it. I would love it because it's Bob Stoops. He's a winner, but I don't know.
Would you be willing to take a shot on a proven FCS coach?
Like, God, you know what? It's a fair question. It's a good question because Brian Kelly, I think he was before Cincinnati. He was at like a program similar to that, and he was like doing a really good job there.
Yeah.
You know,
a place like Tulane, honestly, right now, they've been improving. They've been coming into Florida and doing a really good job snagging under the radar recruits for that team. So it's possible to find a guy who can make us competitive.
Look, if we're looking for fundamentals and execution, Pat Fitzgerald has a really big buyout from Northwestern, but that's everything you're describing. He's not the ace recruiter. It's Northwestern football. We're not talking about Miami Northwestern. We're talking about literally the Ivy League type school in Chicago. I think it's in Chicago, Illinois. That's someone he's a very good coach. He'll take average players to good players and he'll coach them up. He'll teach them fundamentals, how to tackle properly, and we won't lead the nation in missed tackles.
Dude, and that's what I would love to just get back to that. I would love to be able to go out and just say, you know what, on a week-to-week basis, we can at least hang our heads high and be proud of the effort and the skills that our players are showing and advancing on a week-by-week basis. We see no development. Development under Manny Diaz is not only not even something that's on the table, we actually go backwards. That's what's crazy as hell about this Manny Diaz thing. You stay with Manny, and you know what, here, I didn't think about this too, but it's not just players. You are a coach and you stay with Manny. You are a player and you stay with Manny. You will get worse and your job will get harder and you will have less value by the time he's done with you. That is a fact.
Yeah. No, I agree. Jaleel Skinner was at the game yesterday. I don't know. I don't think, I did have one class of 2023 recruit, won't get into specifics, reach out to me. I would say this, he is a priority, very good player. And I think he's going to be an SEC type starting player. I can't name the position because it'll probably just take away the hint, but I think he can play in the SEC and I think he'll be a starting quarterback in the SEC. Oh,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I just said.
I know exactly what you're talking about, bro, because me and him have had that same exact conversation. When he's hitting me up asking me what the hell is going on at Miami, I get worried. I've not just had him. I have had multiple recruits, 2022, 23, 24, and even one 2025 reach out to me and say, what the hell is going on? Is this staff even going to be here at the end of this season? Is my offer even going to be something that's still on the table for me? Because you know how it goes. These guys make an offer and the new staff comes in and that offer is not valid anymore. So these guys are really confused. They don't know what the hell's going on. and they don't know what the hell their Miami offer really means right now.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, exactly. It's a scary situation, and it's unfortunate we've gotten to this state. Ross, do you think Manny Diaz makes it through the weekend?
God, I hope not. I mean, the way that we operate and the way Blake James is being just a straight up coward, I can see it happening. These are gutless cowards. Gutless cowards don't like to make tough calls. If it's me, he's already gone. He'd have to walk home. He wouldn't even be on that team bus after that game. But I don't think Blake James will do it yet. Do you?
According to David Wilson of the Miami Herald, Manny Diaz was at I think Miami Central's playing Northwestern tonight at Traz Powell.
Uh-huh.
If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. It's just me going off the top of my head.
I think so.
David Wilson, the Miami Herald, stated that he saw Ishmael Aristide and Manny Diaz at the game tonight. So if that's true, they have to keep things moving along. I'll say this. If I'm going to fire someone, I'm going to meet with my board of trustees members or whoever needs the decision makers, right? I'll meet with them the next day. This is just me thinking in the Miami standard, because like any other program would fire him like on the spot, no questions asked. Meet with them Friday, talk it over. Saturday, make my decision, let the head coach enjoy his weekend, and then Monday, cut it loose.
I see no reason to wait. I mean, it's not going to get better. I'm not sure the fans that do support Diaz still, I'm not sure what they're seeing or what they think might happen. Magical stuff doesn't just appear overnight in college football. Guys who have these kind of embedded issues, and especially as a head coach, that are so deeply embedded in their philosophies, he's not just going to magically forget that one week and all of a sudden be a fantastic head coach the following week. That's not how it works.
Mike Williams, $10 donation. Thank you very much for tuning in, man. We greatly appreciate your support and contribution. Here's the thing. People say Manny Diaz needs more time, right? This is what people say about Manny Diaz. He needs more time. Why did Manny Diaz in the press conference in his first day said Miami can win now? This is the new Miami if he needs more time. Because he never said rebuild from day one. He never said rebuild whatsoever. He said Miami can win now. This is the new Miami. We're not winning now. We're going backwards. And we're losing to FIU, Louisiana Tech, to Duke. We're getting humiliated by Alabama, North Carolina, Clemson, and then Bronco Mendenhall. The first 2 years, you beat him in close games. The third year, he beats you. Changing of the guards. You have gone backwards, Manny Diaz. You are not winning now. This is not the new Miami. This is the worst coaching hire in the history of Miami Hurricanes football. John Bird, another $10 donation. Changes need to be made. Have to do something. This is awful. Love your show. Keep the good work, guys. Go Canes. John Bird, we love you, man. Thank you so much for your contribution and support.
One of the things that stood out to me in Diaz's press conference before the game was how he went to and bluntly talked about how basically we're not going to talk about championships at Miami anymore. We're not going to talk about conference championships, any of that stuff. We're focusing on a week-by-week basis. Boy, is that a lot different than what we heard when he first got here. Is that a whole lot different than what the hell he was saying when he first got here, dude? It was all that hype, all that pizzazz, all that flash, and now all of a sudden it's, maybe we need to be a little more humble now. And it's like, dude, you're too late to that party.
Listen, I understand we will never replicate the past. I mean, 5 national titles, 2 Heisman Trophy winners. I mean, we were just spitting out talent left and right. Were we doing it legally? NCAA, we weren't breaking any violations? Absolutely not. I'm sure we were breaking everything left and right. Who cares? I understand we won't replicate the past, but at least compete and fight and show up for a national title game or a college football playoff every once in a while. I mean, Auburn does it.
Yeah.
LSU just did it. Like, at least be a productive program. Like, not just a complete embarrassment and go 7-5 or 7-6 for the last 10 years. That's literally what it's been. At least give me 9-3, 5 straight years or something, When
this NFL season started, there was more kids from the Miami area on NFL teams than there was from any other city in the United States of America. That tells me right there, not only are we in a hotbed, we're in the hotbed. We're in the place to get the best recruits, to get NFL caliber recruits. And we're totally squandering it, Paul. Absolutely squandering it. And I had a question for you here, actually. It's about a player of ours, and it's something that's really stuck out to me and has bothered me a lot. What the hell happened to Will Mallory?
I think everyone has, like, my father even asked me that question. His friend sitting next to him asked him that question. Everyone, and you just asked me that question, wants to know what happened with Will Mallory. I don't know. I don't even know, Ross. Like, it's weird because he can't catch a ball for his life. I honestly think we put on a lot of bad weight on him as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't think he should ever came to Miami. I think his identity was a Big Ten football team or like a G5 air raid offense. I just don't think we've matched the personnel. He doesn't fit right. They want him to be this, tight end that can block well. I don't know. I mean, like, he looks like a Big Ten wide receiver coming out of high school. That's what he looked like. And I think that's where he should have played, as a Big Ten wide receiver playing on the outside. He's not your traditional tight end. I'm sorry. He has no hands. He had speed coming in. He was a track star out of Jacksonville. But you put a lot of bad weight on him. And this offense doesn't really cater to him. Why don't you go empty set, spread everyone out? Then you can put him in a wide receiver rotation at least. And I think that's where he'll excel the most. I mean, he put on a lot of bad weight during his time at Miami. There's a lot of players I've seen put on a lot of bad weight. Bradley Jennings, when he came in as a freshman, he looked lean and huge. I saw him before season. 3 months before season. He put on a lot of bad weight. There's another player, too, that put on a lot of bad weight. Recently put up picks. I didn't like it whatsoever. I won't say the name. But he put on a lot of bad weight as well.
So, we've broken down a lot of the coaching stuff here, and I want to get a blunt answer from you on this, Paul, and be as blunt as possible. How much better of a coach is Bronco Mendenhall than Manny Diaz?
Sigmund with the $5 donation. Greatly appreciated, man. Thank you so much. I'll get to your question real quick. Ross, want to knock this one out. We need to start at the top and work our way down, but we need a splash hire in place because all of those recruits will be gone. Yeah, you know what? I do agree we need to start at the top, work our way down. But we can start with burning every jewelry that's associated with the program and the little pictures, sideline Instagram-like thing that we got going on, pictures at gas stations. We can burn all that social media down, do a full social media ban policy, which is what they do at a lot of major programs.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're going to hire next, honestly, but it's going to be a lot better than Manny Diaz because it cannot get this bad. So to answer your question, Ross, no, Bronco Mendenhall is a tremendous coach. He just doesn't have the personnel to recruit at Virginia. Virginia will never be a college football dynasty. That's the reality of the situation. They're a basketball school, and their goal is to go 8-4 every single season or better. Like 8-4, it's a good year for Virginia. They're not there to win titles at UVA. That's not what they're there for. I thought BYU is a better football program than UVA, so I was curious why he left. So he's got it made there. No, he's got it made, and he's a much better head coach, and their OC is very good. I like him a lot.
The reason I asked that question is because that's for the Canes fans out there kind of wondering, well, what can we do, or if we don't have a Manny Diaz, who can we even hire? Everyone just asking, who can we hire? Well, if UVA can find a Bronco Mendenhall, we should be able to find our own Bronco Mendenhall. I'm not saying it has to be that guy with that level or that standard, but a guy who values what it takes to actually win, a guy who actually values the little things in football, a guy who's not going to allow the little things to slip by just for a photo op or for a little flash and pizzazz, dude. Manny Diaz has spent all of his time focusing on the wrong shit. A guy like Bronco Mendenhall focuses on what really matters. And you know what? We saw it with that offense, the way it came out with that creativity. You can tell that they spent time before this game and they broke down our defense. While they weren't exactly as potent as I thought they would be, you made the mention, and I believe it wholeheartedly, the drop passes they had, that would have been the nail in the coffin for us. Had they completed probably 2 of those drop passes, we're talking about losing that game by 14 or more maybe.
No, yeah, no, they had a ton of drop passes. I mean, like I said, their personnel is just not up to par with Miami. Their O line was actually, I liked their O line. I actually did. I liked their quarterback a lot, Armstrong. He was a player, man. He made plays. He was a fighter out there. I liked him a lot, man. Scrappy kid. That's the kind of heart we need. You know what, UVA? They have guys who will literally take hits for them. That kid Kemp, he's like 5'9", and he's playing like he's Calvin Johnson or something. That guy 99 Thompson, he was their quarterback coming in as a transfer, I believe, from Michigan State. Oh, that guy's catching passes. He's running the football. He does it all. He took a huge hit from Tyreek Stevenson and still held on to the football.
Did you see how
were fighters?
Did you hear how they referred to him by any chance in the game? How they talked about how he's not a quarterback. He's listed as a football player is what he's actually listed on the roster. And their entire mindset is back in grade school, what do? When you're picking your football teams, you pick the best quarterback there or you pick the best athlete there and you work with that. What they're basically saying is if we got guys who are athletic and can make plays, we will find ways to get them into our offense instead of forcing them into doing things they're not good at.
It's not just Gervin Hall tackling bad. It's Bubba Bolden. Zach McLeod's been here for 6 years. Amari Carter's been here for like 6 or 7 years. Corey Couch leads the team in missed tackles. Where the hell is Al Blades? Why aren't you playing Chance Williams over Zach McLeod? Why does it take you so long to play Leonard Taylor? Like, literally, it's everything. It's everything. Why is your linebacker personnel the worst I've ever seen in God knows when?
By far.
This is awful. And you've been here since 2016. Why haven't you developed anyone besides Gregory Rousseau that hasn't came from the transfer portal that you've handpicked at recruiting? Why are you letting elite talent leave to other programs? And you don't want them as takes. Why did you say Tutu Atwell was too small to play for Miami? Why didn't you offer Elijah Moore or Anthony Schwartz? Why didn't you offer Omar Graham Jr., who's going to Florida State? And that's going to bite you in the butt.
Yep.
It's everything. It's everything.
Dude,
you lost to FIU in year 1. What the fuck?
One thing that I want Canes fans to kind of absorb with this too, and I think it would have been a big deal if they had him. Jelani Woods, their big playmaking tight end, wasn't even in that game. That's a dude who goes over the middle. He's literally notorious for going over the middle, making contested catch, and basically shrugging off any DB that tries to get in his way to the end zone. Dude, that's a recipe for a disaster for us. A guy who loves to break tackles and wants to play physical against our DBs, bro, he'd have ate us alive, I bet. He'd have absolutely ate us alive over the middle.
Yep. Well, Ross, we've had 280 people on live with us during this live stream. Greatly appreciate it, guys. It means the world to me. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up? It's Friday night. I'm glad everyone stopped what they're doing on Friday night just to hear us talk Canes football. I greatly appreciate it. So anything else you want to talk about? I think I've covered it all. Yes, number 91 from UVA is from Gulliver Prep. He's from Miami. So
there's one player that I want to talk about that we hadn't have a chance to dive into yet, Paul, and I want to get your take on why you think it's gone so wrong already. Rooster actually had one more carry than Cam Harris did. Cam Harris had 14 carries for 111 yards. Rooster had 15 carries for 44 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. Why can we not get electric playmakers in space? Why can't we do it? Not even a screen pass that's functional for him.
Yeah, I mean, your core is the offensive line offensively, in my opinion. And when your offensive line is that bad, doesn't create holes, doesn't block, there's no protection whatsoever. I mean, under Enos, we literally had to go max protection every single play. I think it has to do with the O-line. Rooster, he kind of does well in an air raid offense, primarily, not in a traditional RPO offense. You kind of have to utilize him in the pass game. I like Rooster a lot in UVA's offense. You gotta get creative and scrappy with him to get the most out of Rooster. Some wildcat formations, direct snaps. Get creative. That's the most you're going to get out of Rooster. He's not your traditional running back. He's very versatile. Kind of reminds me of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
From I think he's with the Saints. I'm not the biggest NFL
Yeah,
watcher.
Saints.
But
Yeah.
yeah. He kind of reminds me of him a lot. So.
So our top two, basically what I would consider to be our most electric playmakers with the most upside for big plays, Rooster and Brashard Smith. Those guys had a combined 16 touches. 15 of those touches were carries for Rooster for, I want to say, 52 yards total in this game. That's what we got out of the two most electric playmakers we have, Paul. We got about 52 yards total.
Yep.
I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it.
Greg Bush, $10 donation. Thank you so much, Greg. Greatly appreciate your support and your contributions. I'm so pissed right now. I can't say anything without dropping a bunch of F-bombs. Can't take any more of this. I hear you, man. We're exhausted. We're tired. And hopefully when we go live again, Manny Diaz will not be the head coach. But hey, we're putting our hands in the trust of a man named Blake James who hired Manny Diaz in 6 hours. Maybe made the worst coaching hire in the history of University of Miami athletics. I hope everyone has a fantastic night. Thank you to the 280 people that joined us tonight. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.